let's take a look at this beautiful geographical review here. The first thing to note is the very attractive binding. This is a really great binding on this book. This marbled, swirled paper is just very nice. Raised bands, gilt lettering and rules. Beautiful marbled paper, end papers like so. The book remains sound and tight. It is a compilation of this quarterly journal called the Geographical Review. This is from 1932. What's interesting is the depth and range of the articles contained throughout this is very interesting. Like we get into aerial photographic studies here in Peru. Here's an aeroarctic expedition, desiccation problem in West Africa. It's very interesting. And what you'll find when you start looking through it is this profusion of these photographs and small maps related to all the topics that are being discussed. Yeah, very interesting, and almost certainly among the earliest appearances of some of the research that's being done here. It's a well-illustrated scholarly journal, and this one, for instance, has this large folding color lithographed map of the Antarctic continent with a tremendous amount of detail. This map likely appears in very few other places and would be quite elusive if you collected maps of the Antarctic. This would be a very difficult map to locate, surprisingly. A lot of times maps of the 20th century are actually much more elusive than the 18th or 19th. Now, the second issue here, our second quarterly issue, is for April. And again, we see the same sort of format, like so, with photographs and extensive detail and maps. It's really hours of reading. Then we have next this large folding map, which has to do with the presidential election, as well as cotton and tobacco, as well as slaves. And look at this, colored population, 1930. Hard to understand what that's doing here, but it must relate to one of the articles. And so there's this folding map there. They're all done by Hoon in Baltimore. And that must somehow relate to some article in here. And we'll continue on. And now we get, now we get to October, like so. I think I may well have skipped an issue, but you get the idea. We don't have to show every last one. It'll be in the description that we've done. We have this of Greenland, this very detailed map like so, color lithographed, like this. Yes, we've given a list of all of the articles, and well, actually not all of them, but many of them. Yeah, many of them. There's just too many to list. It would take an hour to type them all out. There's a lot of them. And here is a final map that I'll show you in this volume here. And this is interesting. The Antarctic discoveries of the Wilkes expedition in comparison with others, especially those of Mawson. This is another very scarce and interesting map right here. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very, look at the tracks here of Mawson in 1913 and 1930, and then in 1830, like so. Yes, yes, very uncommon, with a key, a very detailed key, Shackleton and Scott and Dumont d'Urville and Ross and so on. Okay, we'll fold this up like so. All contained within, yes, here's the other issue that I must have just somehow, yeah, for July right here, just so you can see the title page. And this wonderful volume is available now online from me, Brian DeMambro.